Though Karen Multer has called Chicago home for many years, she's never quite been able to shake her Wisconsin roots, growing up in the backwaters of the Mississippi River. As a writer, singer, and composer, Karen has written everything from chewing gum jingles and musical theater to short stories and essays. And she's a longtime Dramatists Guild Fellow whose work has been featured at the Kennedy Center Page to Stage Festival. Her original music can be heard on projects for HBO, Netflix, and Amazon Originals, and she's published in Cutleaf Journal and the Black Fork Review. Among all her accomplishments, she's proudest of her role as mother to two incredible daughters. In her story, The Pickpocket, Karen shows us how the metaphor, time is a thief, is less literary device and more an inescapable condition. She wins today's Longest Commute Award, having traveled all the way from Chicago to share her story on our stage. Please say hello to Karen Multer.
Her fingernails were smaller than ladybug wings the first time I saw her, the one we called pumpkin flower. The attending doctor in the NICU said her lungs needed a little more time and that she wouldn't always be this orange. She came home 10 days later, already hell-bent and negotiating for more space. She slept under a tree, and on her walls, the circus was in town. We kept vigil, along with the elephants and dancing giraffe, counting the breaths. I turned away for a moment to poach an egg, and when I looked back, she was tying her own shoes. I went out to get the mail and came inside to find her crying over the beautiful Mexican boy who'd just broken her heart. I took off the last of my mascara, and just like that, she was gone, asking me to send her warm winter coat because the weather would be changing soon. Time is a pickpocket who steals with impunity and then smiles as we search for what has been taken. I have often been a careless mother. This is not to say that I cared less, merely that I was less careful. There were days when she was left to her own devices, crawling on the floor, ignored, while I did the crossword. What's a four-letter word for indifferent? M-A-M-A. I filled in the boxes as she patted my knee with sticky fingers. I reminded myself that there are many ways to mother. I tried to show myself the same grace I'd show anyone else, but we are always hardest on ourselves. The pumpkin flower was a storm whose eye never lasted quite long enough. A girl of no less than 3 callings before the braces even came off. First, she was the tour guide with a steady stream of bright chatter, pointing to the left and right with her wooden spoon microphone. Then, the weaver of tales, with stories that wrapped and wound and had no end. Finally, she was the gatekeeper. She closed the door, the sole arbiter of who was in and who was out. And if you made it past the velvet rope, it was as though the music played for you alone. Now I stand in the bedroom, and the scent of her is still here, lingering in the sheets I've yet to wash. So careless. I come to this room often to look for what has been stolen and what remains. I take inventory while the pickpocket watches from the corner next to the broken guitar. He's waiting for his chance to pore over the leavings and rob me of what is rightfully mine. But today, I am careful. I find the giraffe hiding among the socks and winter wear. He left the circus years ago, or was it last Wednesday, and has been here ever since. I wrap a woolen scarf around his neck and add him to the lockbox of memories whose key has been taped to the bottom. The box is stuffed with ribbons and trinkets and ticket stubs and discarded bits. The pickpocket wants it all. I know he's behind me, sizing me up. I turn to meet his gaze. He's the first one to blink. And when he does, I swallow the key.